I'm Havilah Malone.
And I'm Raquel Malone Patterson.
Yay, and we're here for another edition of Sisters Talk.
Yay!
And so I'm coming to you from New Orleans, Louisiana.
And I am hailing all the way from Dallas, Texas.
And tonight, because this is something that comes up quite a bit, and so Raquel and I were talking about what does it mean to love yourself?
Yes, that is the big question. It really is. It took a lot of self-reflection on my part. I had to do some research when that question came up to decipher whether or not I am showing myself true self-love.
And so I guess for me, what it means to love myself is that I show up for me, because a lot of times, and I feel like with women a lot, especially, we will show up for everybody else. We will do and do and do until there is no more, left in our cup for other people, but we will not do what we need to do for ourselves. And we let our dreams fall by the wayside. We let our, wants or desires kind of just go second nature. And so I actually started this 30-day Loving Me challenge, where every day there's basically 5 components or 5 things that I do that are around my mind, my body, my spirit, and my business. And it's a cleanse so that I fully show up for me the way that I show up for other people, because I'm I am one of those other people too. So why not show up and fill the cup that I have, which will actually overflow, and I can fill up everybody else's cup with the overflow.
Yes, exactly. That lends the statement, if you don't love yourself, how can you love someone else? And the statement is extremely true. It really is. I mean, if you don't show yourself self-love and do the things that you need to refuel yourself, recharge yourself, reevaluate some things that are negative or weighing you down that you need to let go of so that you can be healthy. It really does lend itself to being healthy, a healthy, whole person.
Very much so. And it's the more that you love yourself and show up for you, then the more you are, like you said, you're healthy, and you get to show up in this amazing energy in this way, because instead of you being broke down and tired and not, you should be feeling okay, I don't even have the energy to, eat healthy. I don't have the energy to go out and, do that walk or get that exercise in. And so even a part of my 30-day challenge for the body piece of it, it's about clean eating. It's about, eating smoothies and raw foods and things that'll truly nourish my body. And I tell you, though, I think today is day 12 of my challenge, and I feel so alive. I feel so good. And it's I'm able to show up in a better energy, in a better state of being, so that everybody even around me benefits, because I'm in a much better mood. So.
Right. Yes, we all benefit from you being in a much better mood.
Don't play with me.
But that's true of women in general. And the whole woman that you want to make sure is healthy. It's emotionally, it's spiritually, it's psychologically, it's physically. So you want to work on your inner woman as well as your outer woman, because you may look well on the outside, but you'll be broken inside. And so it's very important to make sure that you cover all of those bases.
You're not lying. There's been plenty of times where I've had the smile on my face and looking like everything is just going just fine. And you never know how on the inside I was broke down. I was, depressed, or, feeling, that lack of sense of self-worth and all of that stuff. But on the outside, you would have never known it. But it's now to be able to also, a part of loving yourself is being true to what you're feeling. And it's so easy to just be oh, how you doing today? Oh, I'm good. Okay. Are you really doing good? Is there something that you need to talk about or get off of your chest? And if so, it's not about being a complainer all the time, but about, being able to get out the negative energy or get that stuff out of you so that you can be filled with that positive energy. So sometimes that means just talking to somebody who you trust, somebody who, there's been plenty of times where I've gotten on the phone with you and been like, okay, like this was, this is breaking down in my life right now.
Yes, we all need sort of like an accountability partner.
Yes.
Someone who you again trust, and someone who has your best interest at heart, and someone who loves you, and who will give you the raw, unadulterated truth. There's no way that you can talk to someone or share something with someone and they're going to sugarcoat it, or they'll tell you, oh girl, I understand, and that's okay. But they don't offer the advice that you need, in a healthy manner. And if you don't have that person, then, you can use some program from your job, or someone can refer you to a counselor. Because, in our community, it's really frowned upon for people to seek counseling. You crazy. They quick for saying you crazy. But no, you're not.
What is with that in like the African American community?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, that's something white people do. Like, no, that's something that people do who
Healthy.
want to get help. Thank
Healthy
you. Healthy
people do that.
go get help. Unhealthy people just think that, okay, no, I got to just box this up and deal with it inside by myself or whatever, and don't seek the help that they need, because you're hurting not just yourself, but everybody around you when you have major issues that you are not dealing with.
Yes, absolutely. That's part of, during my research, I found this psychologist offered seven steps to loving yourself. And a part of that was seeking help, like asking for help when you need it. Don't be fearful of asking for help. It's not going to make you seem weak. It's not going to make you seem less than. In fact, it's going to help you, make you, allow you to live a healthier life. Allow you to release those toxins that are in you, negative feelings of hurt, anger, despair, disappointment. We all have had them. But through counseling and being able to release those things in a healthy environment, and at least have someone foster encouragement, exercises, and things that you can do. Because you got me on the sticky notes. It wasn't Mary Jane, it was you, girl.
See, Mary Jane inspired me and I inspired you. Look.
Daily affirmation, daily affirmation. And Bishop Jakes mentioned that today in his sermon, how you have to repeat a positive affirmation. That really helps it to sink in, and it helps you to remember those things, because so a man thinketh, so is he. I mean, if you think you're poor, but we do have everybody has negative thoughts that may come up. The thing is not to let that take root, and not to let it sink in, and not to let it consume
it when it comes.
Define who you are. Exactly. You have to counteract that with some positive, because it's easy for people to get depressed and allow negativity to take over. But you have to we are the one to make the change, but some people aren't healthy enough to realize that. And then that's when, help comes in.
The quote by Gandhi said that be the change you want to see in the world. So often we want to, like, instead of me focusing on me, I want to focus on you and what your problem is and what you need to fix and how you need to like straighten that up. And I'm going to give you all kind of advice and stuff like that. It's like, no, that's a deflection. And it's because you're trying to manage your pain by controlling other people instead of like turning and looking in the mirror and saying, okay, if I want trustworthy people around me, that means I have to be trustworthy, which means I have to become that which I want reflected in my environment so that it can become a reality. And it wasn't until like I got that, like, no, I don't need to change the world. Like, I don't need to fix the world. I need to fix me, because when I fix me, my world gets fixed.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's so very true. But a lot of us still have that crab in a barrel mentality, where if you're doing bad, oh, I know she's not doing good, or how is she doing good and I'm still in the same situation, and we started off at the same place.
Stop passing the haterade. Like, why?
It's like, why do people do that? The thing that excites me the most is to see someone else accomplishing their goals. It's an encouragement to me, but everyone doesn't have that same train of thought. And it is a train of thought, because if you grow up thinking one way, it takes it's a process actually of changing that thought pattern. But if they don't have that positive environment or the positive influence in their lives, then it's kind of difficult to get someone to change their thinking. Something that's been imposed on them and that they've grown up with. So that seed's been planted, it's manifested itself. And now how do you change that in someone that's all they've known? And a lot of times they don't see that as the problem.
It's like, everything else is the problem. They see every other person, every other situation. And like that song, it says, when you point the finger, 3 are pointing back at you. Yes. Like we think it's everything and everybody else. No, it's us. And that's why it's so important to put up that mirror. It's uncomfortable and it hurts sometimes to look in that mirror and be truly honest with yourself. But when you can do that, then you get an opportunity to say, okay, this is working for me or this isn't working for me. And we have been, and you're right, programmed with certain thoughts, with certain beliefs and certain attitudes that this is the way it is or this is the way it should be. Right. But should it really? And what can you do to change that? If your life is not going in the direction that you want it to go, then obviously something needs to shift. Something needs to change. And the only thing that you have control over is your own mind. So that means you have to change. So that means that your thoughts and your beliefs, your patterns of thinking must shift. And those affirmations, like you said, that helps. So if you have a belief system that, getting money is hard, guess what? You need a new belief system. So you start out every day saying, you know what? Money comes consistently and easily on a regular basis. And I have it in abundance. And you say that every single day, multiple times a day. Yes, in the beginning, you're not going to believe it because you're not seeing it in the reality of the physical world. But in the spiritual world, underneath the surface, guess what? Though you planting those seeds, they starting to take root and something is happening. And then in time, because all habits take time to actually manifest, in time will grow and you will see a whole new world around you.
That's absolutely true. It is.
Yes.
Well, girl, let me tell you, in my research, these are the 7 steps, honey. This is a 7-step prescription for self-love. What did I just do?
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, my camera went.
We want to hear about these 7 steps for love. Self-love first, and then you go the rest of the love later.
That's a different show.
I know, right? That's a whole different show.
That is a different show. Okay, but the first step was to become mindful. It says people who have more self-love tend to know what they think, feel, and want. So you want to be mindful of knowledge rather than others wanting from you, what they want from you. So but that's really positive to be mindful, understanding what's going on, the things that you want in life. And it's going to be hard for some people. But I mean, once you set your mind to something and then take note of everything that you have to do to start the change, that is an awareness and being mindful. Okay, so the second step is to act on what you need rather than what you want. You love yourself when you can turn away from something that feels good and exciting to what you need to stay strong, centered, and moving forward in your life.
You see, definitely if you're just going to something and it's a distraction, like you're doing this, like you going out and you partying when you actually do be working on your business. So it's kind of like, okay, you're not loving yourself by denying the thing that you need to go for something that you want, where when you put in the work, yes, you still need to be able to have some fun and have that balance, but you need to put in the work though.
Absolutely. And especially, something like having your own business, you don't have time to sleep.
Well, hey,
your business,
you gotta get
lack of sleep, but I mean, in essence, you are the business. You are the brand. So you should never stop. You don't have time to stop working on the brand. You know what I mean? It's an ever evolving, ever changing, ever developing product. And you're not going to stop building on that. But everything has its place. So partying every now and again is okay. And we touched on practicing good self-care. You will love yourself more when you take better care of your basic needs.
Like a massage and there. Look.
We're talking about healthy activities.
It's a healthy activity. Look.
Nutrition, exercise, prayer, meditation, proper sleep, intimacy, and healthy social interaction. All of that is a part of self-love also.
Yes, it is. You got to be able to talk to find people on a daily basis.
I don't know about you, but I'm lacking in that area right now. Anybody out there looking? Yes, intimacy and healthy social interaction. We'll do our next video on Raquel Needs a Date. Okay, so step 4 is to set boundaries. You'll love yourself more when you set limits or say no to work, love, activities that deplete or harm you physically, emotionally, or spiritually.
Amen.
And that's very true. It's okay to say no. I had to learn that because I had taken on some poor habits, like being there for other people, like we say all the time, until we ourselves are depleted. And now I just learned to say no.
Mm-hmm. Even when it comes to like simple stuff.
You know how I say no?
Huh.
Okay. If you call me and I don't call you back, that's a no.
Oh, boo. No.
That's me.
Say no. You need to say no, not just like avoid them.
Okay, so I haven't learned to verbalize no yet. What? Okay, we're going to move on to step 5. Okay, so step 5 says to protect yourself. I'm sorry, did you want to say something about setting boundaries?
Oh, no, that is very important to be able to set boundaries, especially even in simple stuff. I mean, like say if you were going to go out with your friends and you have an intuitive knowing that, hey, this is the type of activity I want to do. Don't just go along. Like if they want to go out and like hardcore clubbing, but your intuitive nature is saying like, no, like that's not for me right now. Instead of just going along with the program, you need to honor that, and sometimes just listening to that voice within. And that's why it's so important to have that quiet time so that you can identify that voice, that internal voice of yours, so that when it does speak to you in situations, you can listen and be obedient, because then you'll get the blessings.
Yes, absolutely. You hit it on the head right there. Getting a blessing, especially. Yes, girl. Okay, so step 5 is to protect yourself. Bring the right people into your life. We need to watch that.
Yes, because proximity is power, and the people you surround yourself with could be an energy boost or energy drain. So it's very important that you keep positive, proactive, honest people in your vicinity and in your circle. And if you are the top dog, so to speak, in your circle, you're in the wrong circle.
Oh, you're definitely in the wrong circle. You have to expand your boundaries by being in the company of people where you want to be. Like you say, if you're the top dog in your group, then you've outgrown your group. And that's okay to outgrow your group.
Amen.
It really is. It's not that you're being bougie or, you being uppity, or you change the way you feel about them. You can still love them, but you have to love them from afar, especially when you have goals. Things that you want to attain, dreams that you want to accomplish. You have to learn to move to different levels.
Amen.
And when you've outgrown that group and you have to move on to your next level, then, you're going to get some hateration. But, hey, that's okay. Because the next group you're going to be in is going to be fantastic. And it's hard from the bottom, working your way back up.
Where was y'all at my life?
Right? Okay, and 6 is one of the hardest things that we all have to do, is to forgive yourself.
Ooh.
It can be extremely difficult to forgive yourself from past wrongs. If you truly love yourself, you want to take the time to practice forgiving yourself, failures, because failures come to teach you, to learn. You learn from them and you grow from your mistakes. So consider it a lesson learned, and don't badger yourself and beat yourself up. And listen, we all make multiple mistakes, because I have made the same mistake multiple times. And I look back on that mistake and I say, okay, I've done this, like 3 times prior. Why can't I get it?
Keep on. Boom, up against the wall. Boom, up against the wall. Boom, up against the wall.
But you know, the thing is, God gives us wisdom. And until I learn the lesson I need to learn from that same mistake, I'm going to experience the same result over and over and over.
And that lesson will show up in different ways, but it's to teach you the same lesson until you get it. Like, life is just a classroom. And it's like, okay, you at this level right now, and here are the lessons you got to learn at this level. And then once you graduate, then you get to move to the next level. So it's like, until you graduate, guess what? You're going to keep on running to that same issue. So don't even look at things that happen that are challenging or that may seem to be negative as being negative, because it may just be trying to teach you something, and you have to grow and form a character trait about yourself through that struggle or through that adversity that you need to be able to function at the next level, because without it, you can't function up there.
You can't take that trash with you. Oh, wow. That's it. That is it in a nutshell. Okay, number 7 is to live intentionally. You will accept and love yourself, whatever is happening in your life, when you live with purpose and design. We love that. We talk a lot about being purposeful in life and doing things with purpose. You know, people go through life just living day to day. And, you know, it's important to have a plan. And these are things that, some of these things I didn't learn until I was an adult. And I try to teach my daughters that, you know, you want to have a plan. You want to have a goal or an objective. You can't just wing it. In this life, you can't just wing it. And success is what you think or what you believe success to be for yourself. Whatever you see, you know, for yourself is what success will be for you. It's not for everyone, but you have to have something to work towards, you know?
Absolutely. Napoleon Hill says that it's like 98% of people are drifting through life because they have no definite major purpose. Like, they have not decided on what they want out of life. And so they literally just drift. And so for you to say, I have this life, I've been given this gift, and with that, because of, you know, my passion or where I want to go in life, this is what I want, and making a definition of this is what I want, and then a plan in which to attain that, and knowing also what you have to give up to be able to get it, because for something to be gained, something must be given in return for that. And that may be losing limited-minded people, you know, that may be, you know, losing some of the friends or even connections that you had with family, you know, that you had in your life, because for you to be able to get to what you want, there is a cost associated with it. But at the end of the day, through that journey, you get to a point where you get to be true to who you are and honor the gift that you have been given in the form of life. And that's truly loving yourself.
Yeah, it is. And I think some people are fearful.
Yes.
They're very, very fearful of what may happen if they aren't successful or if they don't succeed with that plan. But you know, that is a part of success, failure. And so the best thing you can do is try. Nothing beats a person who fails than a person who doesn't try. You have to try and try again, because when you think of doing something a certain way, it may not be successful that way, but you learn through the process, and then you have to change the format in which you do something. You know what I mean? You learn through the process, and fear it's a really big thing in our community. It really is. You know, if your parent tried something and it didn't work for them, and all you hear is, oh, don't do that because I did it and it didn't work. And no, you're not going to be successful in that. And no, don't try that. And it's like that fear is put into you.
Yes, it becomes like a generational fear that's just passed down from generation to generation. It's like, you know what? Everybody has their own path to follow.
Yeah.
Even when you look at snowflakes, as beautiful and unique as they are not two snowflakes that are alike. Not two snowflakes that are alike. So think about a human being. Yes, we are very close, genetically.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we are all individuals and we are all different and we have a different path. So yes, there are some universal rules that can be followed, but as far as what risk you should take, what path you should go down, you have to find your unique signature for life, because it's not going to be the same signature as anybody else. And that's the beauty of it, because you have to learn, you have to figure it out. Nobody else can lay it out for you.
Right.
Because first of all, you're not going to appreciate it, nor will it be nearly as fulfilling, and you're not going to unleash all your gifts.
Oh, talk about unleashing your gifts. That's how you find your gifts. You know what I mean? Your gifts don't emerge on their own. You have to go through tests, trials, tribulations, experiences, successes and failures in order for your gifts to emerge. Yeah. You have to dig them out. They're in there, but they just won't manifest on their own.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I would just encourage people to find the way that you can love yourself to the fullest.
Yes.
And that means taking time to figure out, what does that look like for you? Because what it looks like for me, what it looks like for Raquel may not be what it looks like for you. But finding out what that means for you, and then setting aside the time to pursue it. Because
make the time.
Yes.
Make the time to do it.
Yes.
Because if you don't make the time to take care of yourself and do the things that you think about or you feel or you may want to try, you don't want resentment to set in, because a resentful person becomes a bitter and a negative person, and you don't want to be that person. So try. Life it's not over. It's never too late. And life is short. None of us are promised tonight. None of us are promised the morning. Things are happening so fast. Make the time to invest in yourself.
Amen. They say the average lifespan is 28,782 days. And think about, if every day was $1, how are you spending your money? Mm-hmm. And is it been spent in a worthwhile endeavor? Because at the end of the day, we all want our lives to mean something and to have left behind something that made a difference. So if you look at what I'm doing right now, what I do on a day-to-day basis, is it making a difference? Will it make a difference? If not for me, for my children or for my family or for the next generation, what will my life have stood for? If somebody was reading your eulogy, would you be proud of what it is that they were reading?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Life is too short to hold back in any way, shape, or form.
It is. It is. And I just want to leave you guys with this quotes from Charlie Chaplin. As I began to love myself, he says, as I began to love myself, I freed myself of anything that is no good for my health, food, people, things, situations, and everything that drew me down and away from myself. At first, I called this an attitude, a healthy ego. Today, I know it as love of oneself.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, I love you too, Sissy.
I love you, Sissy. Girl.
Yay. Well, I'm Havilah Malone.
And I'm Raquel Malone Patterson.
And we all thank you guys so much for joining us for this edition of Sisters Talk.
Yay. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.